We are inclined to compare things in our world, but in reality, everything is neutral. Relativism exists in all things, and in the end, meaning comes down to our perspectives and perceptions. Law of polarity. The law states that everything in life has an opposite: good and evil, love and fear, warm and cold. The key is understanding these are all two sides of the same coin. A way to work with this law is through the mantra, all contrasts bring more clarity. The law of rhythm. We expect ourselves to be one way all the time, whether we're thinking about our health or even productivity, but this is not sustainable. Cycles are a natural part of the universe. Everything is cyclical. And then finally, the law of gender. Masculine and feminine energy that exists in all things. Achieve your own balance between divine masculine and divine feminine energies in order to live more authentically. All of these laws are about mastering your life with love and joy. So the fourth principle is we just represent that, but we're going to get into more of what we're really about.
Right.
We focus on the fourth principle.
Right. It's like saying what's short to tall. You know, Shaq is taller than me, but I'm taller than my little nephew. So all is truth. It's just how most people perceive it. Because yes, Shaq is tall,
Yao Ming taller?
but
He is.
he's shorter than Yao Ming.
Right.
He's shorter than trees. Some trees. Not all trees, but some trees. So there's truth in all things. Whether most people like it or they don't like it, or they believe it or they don't believe it. And we're gonna get in that word belief in a few. But we're gonna touch that real quick because I'm using that word because it's relative to everybody. Everybody basically use it. I don't really per se like to use it, but I understand most people. That's what they use. So, but we'll touch on it a little bit.
Anybody want to add to that? What is fourth principle to you?
No, I think you summed it up pretty good.
What is the fourth principle's goal from your perspective?
So one goal that I would say that we have is we use the term like light bearer, right? So, wherever we go, whoever we encounter, the goal is just to share love with that person, enjoy the interaction with that person. Our goal is not to try to convince anybody of anything.
Right.
And as we are led, the things that we might be given to share with other people, that might awaken something in that person that's relevant for their next stage of growth.
Facts. Now I don't know if we want to touch on what our goal is. We do have a lot of goals with going out and helping the community. Go spread what we understand, what we're about, how we look at things, how we perceive certain things. Now, not saying that you have to agree with us. We're just sharing what we understand, and it's for those ones who want to or vibrate with us and have that same mind thought or mind thinking. And also, establishing truth. But like you say, all things are truth. So when I say all things are truth, you can have your truth with us. You can sit on this podcast with us and have your truth. We may perceive it different. We may even look at it different, but guess what? It comes back to the same thing, to the same thought. That's all it's going to do. So that's what we're trying to portray here as we go forth, in our journey in this podcast and in the Fourth Principle podcast. And like I said, we're going to do a lot more things outside of the Fourth Principle. Like I say, dealing with the community and things like that. So,
I like to add one more item is we also demonstrate that there's relatively a lot of good within every person. We seek to motivate and extract and draw out those positive qualities that sometimes lay dormant in people, and a lot of times we do that through the unique conversations that we might have with different groups. And if it meshes, right? If it doesn't, maybe that's for an appointed time later. So.
So pretty much what everybody else said. But I'm going back to that word light bearers. You hear that in a lot of the people call it new age community or whatever the case may be. But it's also a light holder. And what we're doing is we're going to go into terms like spiritual awakenings and things of that nature. But in the past several years, there are people, and I'm speaking directly to those people. I'm speaking to those beings, those souls. So for those that don't know what I'm talking about and you don't get what I'm talking about, it's probably not for you. I'm speaking to those people that are going through spiritual awakenings. And these people, they're in different walks of life, culture, religious ideologies, races, creeds, and they're being silent for the sake of fitting in or not to rock the boat, whatever that boat may be.
Yeah.
And that could cause a lot of great internal suffering. So the Fourth Principle is here to show you that there's others out here like you that understand what you're going through. And, we're available for you to reach out to us, to help you, to share perspectives, to even learn from you. Because we all have something to add to the table, because we all share a perspective of the one infinite, and we're just mirroring and sharing it with each other. Yeah, you're not alone.
Thanks. Yeah, Jer.
What is your current spiritual belief system, and what led you to that?
I think all
That's
us
the long one.
Yeah, that is the long one.
Go ahead, take that one, Mike.
I'll make it short. Today's popular saying is "it is what it is." I don't really adhere to anything. I think more things adhere to me.
Okay.
At my heart, at my root, I'm an animist. We had this conversation the other day. I believe that all has life in some sort. All vibrates. So we come back to the principles that he was mentioning. Mm-hmm. But as for a in-the-box belief system, I came up in a Kemetic mystery system under Afosu Abiola Tamba. You can look her up. But again, I don't adhere to any system. The majority of my friends, while I was in that Kemetic mystery systems, were Israelites. So, and what was funny was people outside of that friendship had complaints or things to say, but my friends were still my friends. My peoples were still my peoples. I can see the Most High in everyone. Like Brother Malak said, there's a lot of good to focus on. If I sat around and focused on people's so-called negativity, we never would get anywhere.
Right.
But, to be short, because I know this is the long one, but my mother, of course, introduced me to what we would call spiritualism. But she also raised me as a martial artist. So dealing with martial arts, you're going to deal with different spiritual systems.
Right.
So being brought up in a Christian church, I was still exposed to Zen Buddhism, Taoism through the martial arts, which was actually kind of a conflict when it came to my mother, when it came to me learning the martial arts. But she allowed me to explore somewhat when I became a teenager, or actually, I would say adolescence, 12, 13.
Right.
I was told to search for myself. And in doing that, I was able to reach out into a lot of things, encyclopedias, books. I spent a lot of time at the library. So, but as for a personal spiritual system, it's what's around me,
Right.
you know.
Right. Got you. So,
What was the question?
I'll go next.
No,
you go next.
You can ask it again.
yeah.
What is your current spiritual belief system, and what led you to that?
Okay. I am that I am. And as I would say, from this point looking backwards, it's been my life's journey to this point. Everything that now the awareness that I'm in, I've seen that I've been led all the way to this point. And I wouldn't say I deviated from who I was, but I would say that at the point that I stayed in one particular space for over a decade, it was a choice, I guess, to see what it was like to go fully into a box and box in that infinite power that we all possess. You understand what I'm saying? So it's going into that system, learning that system, and not saying I know all things in the system, but a good friend told me, you come out of that system when it's time for you to return to who you truly are. You take all the good or all the things that work for you in that system, and then you pull yourself out.
Right.
And then you utilize that in your life, in your life's lessons. So, I mean, I see the connectivity in all the faiths that I've dealt with. It all seems to stem from one source, and the core tenets of the ones that I've experienced have the same teachings. So I only see oneness and unity, and anything that appears to be deviant from that, it's a choice to experience what we would say the negative or shadow or dark, but it's still a part of the experience to choose to go experience that, because that which is true is always there waiting for you to turn back to it. I really compressed that down.
Oh, I know you did.
What's up, y'all? Shalom, right? So what basically led me to my current belief or the status of mind that I'm in has just been a life journey. I always felt like it didn't matter what religion I was a part of. I always felt like there was something else that was deeper. There was always some type of question that wasn't answered in that specific religion, or I just didn't accept the answer. It's a duality to this, right? So the universe or the creator put people in my life that helped me go down the path that I am at, a light path. And from there, I accept a lot of things that I rejected at one point in time. And with me accepting those different beliefs or knowledge or wisdoms have led me to the place that I am now, which is hear all, and then do your research, and then accept if it's applying to you. If not, keep it in the back of your head. Maybe it'll apply to you later on in life. But don't be so quick to shun things out just because you don't like it or just because you weren't taught it. So that's where I'm at.